Somewhere Along the Way is a book that explores themes of mental health, identity, and the complexities of the mother-daughter bond. The author is Ana Gomez. She's not only an author, but the chief financial officer at the agency Mischief, managing to thrive in both creative and corporate world. In this episode, she describes how her personal experiences with mental health help shape the emotional arc of her main character, Charlie. How she balances storytelling with a high-level executive role, the authors who influence her path and her creative process. So if you've ever juggled a career and a passion at the same time, or wondered how personal pain can be transformed into powerful fiction, this episode is going to resonate with you. So grab your notebook or your favorite drink and let's journey somewhere along the way. Welcome to the Minute Mastery Podcast, a conversational productivity and time management podcast where busy authors and entrepreneurs are inspired to create time for what truly matters. I'm your host, Ngozi Edema. I'm a time management coach, writer, and entrepreneur. Here, you are encouraged to turn your minutes into milestones and to create at least 1 hour a day working on your goals without feeling overwhelmed. And while you are here, I thought I'd let you know of a book to gift your favorite little kids, Mama's Daycare. In Mama's Daycare, Nene has always been by her mama's side, helping, chatting, and filling her days with laughter. But now, with school just around the corner, Nene worries. How will Mama cope? Determined to help, Nene comes up with a series of fun and imaginative ideas to help keep Mama busy while she's away at school, full of heart, humor, and colorful illustrations. This sweet story captures the special bond between a mother and her child, and the big emotions that come with growing up. Perfect for beginner readers. Mama's Daycare is a gentle, charming read that will make kids giggle, think, and maybe even create their own plans for the people they love most. So, grab your copy. You can find the link in this episode show notes and order your copy today. So, joining me in today's episode is author Ana Gomez. You are welcome to the Minute Mastery, Ana.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you for coming. So let's start at the heart of your novel, Somewhere Along the Way. Mental health plays such a pivotal role in Charlie's story and her relationship with her mother. Can you share how your own journey with mental health informed that narrative?
Sure. It was originally a woman's fiction book about a woman finding herself. And in writing the story, I discovered that I had a lot of thoughts and points of view as a daughter who grew up with in a family that had mental health challenges. And so that inspiration came to me because I wanted to show a different perspective. I wanted to show the perspective of a person on the outside looking in, as well as the choices that person has had to make because she lived in such an environment. And most of all, I also wanted to show the unconditional love between a daughter or a child and her parent, no matter what the situation is.
Thank you. So now I have to ask you, you are not just an author, you're also the CFO of Mischief. That's a lot of responsibility. I know many authors are like you. We juggle between our passion and our responsibilities. So how are you able to manage both? In your case, both the emotional and analytical sides of life. How do you manage to stay present and effective in both roles?
Well, I think there's a lot of prioritization in my life. So I can't get everything done. I can't do everything. I know that and I'm aware of that. And so in trying to accomplish both, I make sure that I manage my expectations. You know, I'm a mother and a daughter and a wife. And as well as, you know, I have a big responsibility at work. And so I make sure that I prioritize that. My career is very important. For me, I moved to this country, 30 years ago and really worked hard to get my career on track and to be successful in that. So that has always been my priority. But writing is a different type of endeavor that actually helps me to, it's kind of a stress relief for me, actually. It helps me to be able to convey my messages, stand up to my platform, and have a voice outside of being a leader. And it's made me a better leader. So it's really a good combination for me. And I've always appreciated the fact that I'm able to do that. So, in answer to your question, it's a lot of prioritization, it's a lot of planning. You only have 24 hours in a day. And so you really have to make sure that those days and those times are impactful in any way that you can do it. If you want to be impactful in your job, you have to focus on that. If you want to be impactful in your writing, you actually have to take time to hone your craft. So, that's how I've managed it all these years. I have to tell you, it's a little harder as you get older. um and when I started writing, I wasn't a CFO, I was starting out my career, so I had more time. And now as time just gets a little bit less and less and less, there's a lot more prioritization and a lot more of managing my expectations.
For me, I realized that the moment I know that I cannot do everything, that was where my freedom came.
Yes.
I still have a lot of work that I do every day, but I have to prioritize and let myself know, manage my expectations, like you said. That is my watchword phrase at this point. Manage my expectations, because sometimes you get burnt out when you have too much on your plate and you can meet and do everything. We are stuck with 24 hours.
Yes.
And inside the 24 hours, we still need to create time to rest so that we can show up for all the priorities that we have in our lives.
Yes.
So yes, prioritization and managing expectations are huge.
Yes.
So every writer is also a reader. If you don't read, you can't be a good writer. Are there any particular authors or books that shaped your writing style or gave you permission to write the way you do?
I started writing at the time in 2013, where there were a lot of indie authors coming up and coming out. Colleen Hoover, for example, Aaron Fisher, all those authors that are now basically traditionally published authors. And so I learned a lot from them. In terms of reading, I loved to read Jodi Picoult, or my very first book that really impacted my life was The Thornbirds by Colleen McCullough. I actually read a lot of Stephen King too. But there's so many other authors there. I can't, too many to name. Jill Santopolo, Emily Henry is a favorite now. Um, but one thing I want to make sure that people know is when I'm writing a book, I don't read romance. I don't read women's fiction, because I don't want to be influenced by that writing style. I don't want to be influenced by any storylines or any ideas that, you read a book and you pick up different conversations or styles. And I try to make sure that I stay with my own. So while I'm writing a book, I don't read. I watch a lot of Netflix and movies.
Okay. Netflix is a good place to be inspired,
Yes, and sometimes it's just easy, relaxing, a relaxing way to just like take a break, you know.
Yeah, I agree with you. I want to ask you something. Have you been sitting on a creative project or book idea for months, maybe even years? Because life just wouldn't slow down. If that sounds like you, I created something just for you. It's my standard 6-week coaching package, a focused, personalized experience designed to help you finally finish what you started. Here is how it works. For 6 weeks, we meet once a week, just you and I. You'll get a custom time plan that fits around your real life. Not some cookie cutter schedule, but something that actually works for you. You will also get email check-ins from me, because I know how easy it is to fall off the track when no one is checking in. This is perfect for busy moms, writers, and entrepreneurs, or anyone who is juggling life and a dream at the same time. So, if you've been waiting for the right time, consider this your sign. Let's turn those minutes into milestones. Head over to this episode's show notes to enroll, or learn more about this program. So let's talk about routines, because without a routine, I always believe in structure. When you have a routine, things are more structured. Do you have any writing habits, rituals, or non-negotiables that helps you stay consistent and inspired?
Sure. I write when I'm inspired and when I'm around things. So I've been very lucky in my career to travel internationally. And I write when I'm out there in a coffee shop in Paris or in London or even in the Philippines or even in Chicago, where I'm from. I like to write when I have inspiration all around me. It's hard for me to write during COVID. It was really difficult to write when I couldn't see people or be somewhere. A lot of people like quiet time and they write in their study, they write in their office. I'm the opposite. I like to be around a lot of things while I'm writing. I get inspired by people I meet, by events that I see. I see people on the train. I get inspired by them. I make up stories about them in my head. Like I have to have some kind of interaction or at least some kind of viewpoint while I'm getting my ideas. In terms of routine, you're right, you have to have a routine. And so I have to put aside a certain amount of time because my career is basically a 24/7 career where you really have to be very engaged in running a business. I really have to set time to write. I'll take vacation days or on weekends. I'll let my family know that I'm in the writing, mode and I can't be disturbed or can't run errands at that time. You really again have to cut out your day and make sure that you set aside some time. And my routine would be just basically carving out time and making sure that I'm disengaged from the business side of things because I need that creative part of me to start flowing.
Thank you. So, what message would you like readers to walk away with when they follow your main character, Charlie's journey?
All my books, I've written a few books now, and really the central message of my book has always been you're not alone. So there are women, girls, men who identify or whose lines in this that where lines in the stories resonate with them. And whatever people are feeling or whatever hardship we're going through, we're not alone. There's a human element that has all of us at some point in our lives go through that. And so the message I convey generally is that, like what you're going through, someone can identify with it. For this book in particular, I wanted hope to come up because there's a lot of families and unspoken mental health issues that families don't talk about. And I wanted to bring out the fact that we can talk about it and we can experience it and we can share it with others and get help, right? The story that I wrote, Charlie's parents were going through that in the early 70s or in the, when really people never talked about it. And there was no diagnosis for Charlie's mother. Um, there was no way of knowing, how the extent of her sickness. And now we talk about it. Now we have therapists. Now we get help. And that's the message that I wanted to convey is that it is a thing and it's something that we need to talk about and share with people so that people learn about it and it comes out in the open more.
So, many authors, we sometimes write, like you said, you like interaction with people and it influences what you write. In your interaction, your book was based off on issues that happen in your family. So, assuming someone is listening to this episode now and they are in that space where they have a lot of information about themselves, their family, their daily interactions with people, and they want to turn it into a fiction book to help other people, what would be your advice for them? How can they go about this?
First of all, do it. If I can do it, anyone can do it. And second is, just get it. Don't be so involved in what will happen after you write it. Just write it. Right? Get your thoughts on paper because it's also therapeutic to write about it. It's even just for yourself. And as you know, Ngozi, when you write a book, it's like cutting your heart out and putting it on a platter for people to
Yeah.
criticize, or you're serving your heart up on a platter. And it's very scary for other people to do that. But really, if you do it for yourself and you do it for the right reasons, not to hit the bestseller list, not to make a ton of money, but really just because you have thoughts and you have feelings and you have points of view that can help other people, then just do it. That's always been my advice. Do it and write for the right reasons. If you're writing for the right reasons, it's okay.
Hmm.
Everything turns out well.
Thank you. Thank you. So where can people find you?
You can find me anywhere, actually on any platform that sells the book. But I also have a website. It's annagomezbooks.com. And there's information there on my books. And I write a blog as well. So there's information on me, and the books and how they came about and where to buy them. There are links there. So people could just go to that website.
Thank you so much. So we really enjoyed having you on the show today, Anna. And your links will be on this episode's show notes. And thank you for
Great.
coming to the Minute Mastery.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. It was nice to meet you.
Thank you. You're welcome. Yeah. Thanks for tuning in to the Minute Mastery podcast. If you found this episode helpful, please share it with someone who could use more time in their day. And remember to subscribe and leave us a review. Until next time, you are in control of your time and you've got this.